If you're a pro in what you do, whether it's business, real estate, or any industry in the marketplace, and you want to take your marketing skills and market like a champion, and you're ready to really scale up in the arena of learning what is the real playbook of sales pros, what are they doing right now, what's it going to take for me to go to that next level, how am I going to stop being the echo of my competition and become the driving force of my business and what I do, then this Agents in the Trenches is for you guys. I am so stoked about today's conversation. When you surround yourself with pros, when you surround yourself with people that are setting trends, when you surround yourself by trailblazers that are not afraid to become game changers and disrupt the narrative in a positive way, the conversation changes. And that's exactly what's happening here today on Agents in the Trenches. So we're going to dive right in, because Agents in the Trenches is the space and the place where we talk about the real raw realities of what is happening out there in the trenches. So yes, we know real estate drives the economy. We know that there's a lot of uncertainties that we're facing right now, but we also know that there's a few people that are, trendsetters, that are putting the footprints in place for other people to follow. So I want to bring up one of those people who have had the privilege of knowing from afar for several years, but now we have come together, we have aligned, and we're bringing something special to you today. So let's bring into the studio my friend, Danielle Damianov, who is going to be sharing with us a little bit about what she does, but she does so many things. She is just a total rock star. Welcome, Danielle.
Thank you so much, Lucy, for having me. This is going to be an awesome conversation, so I'm excited.
Yes. Real quick, tell everybody a little bit about you, your past, your present, and where you're going next.
So I've been in real estate and mortgage since 2001. I've seen every single market from the highs of 2005 and 6 to the lows of 2008 and everything in between. In 2022, I started kind of getting frustrated because I was working so much, but things like I wasn't moving the needle, right, in my business. So I started to say, how can I, create a business that can also run without me having to do everything. And I started Done by One, which is an AI powered operating system. It is similar to a CRM, but we use a lot of automation and AI. We also do AI consultant and AI business audits, a lot for real estate and mortgage professionals, but we also do it for just any business, because any business is the same. We all need sales. We all
Yes.
need marketing. We all need deals, right?
Yes.
So
Awesome. Well,
that's
I
it.
can't wait to dive into this conversation because I know that you are very innovative, very creative. I know that you have been building as well throughout these past years on different things that you are now showcasing and sharing. So thank you for accepting this invitation to Agents in the Trenches. And if anyone is watching live, give us a hashtag live. If you are watching on replay, give us a hashtag replay, and it's gonna get fired up in here. So next, I want to bring up someone that actually we had never met before. I love the power of social media because the world has now been, brought together. We can meet anyone we want to meet. We can connect with anyone we want to connect. All we have to do is be courageous enough to reach out. And that's exactly what I did. So let's bring to the studio Bryce Morrison, my newfound friend. Bryce, how are you?
Good morning, y'all. How are you doing today?
Great. Thank you for being here. Tell everyone real quick a little bit about you, your past, your present, and where are you going next?
Past, I was in the U.S. Navy for many years. After that, I had been a substance abuse counselor in the Navy, and because of that, the psychology led me towards sales and marketing outside of the Navy. And that gave me the ability to help people quite a bit. And I found that sharing was better than selling. So I carried that through into training and helping others. And here I am. Now, today, I do a lot of paid content creation for brands, helping them spread their message to others.
I love it. I love it. So let's dive right in. Let's get rid of the white elephant in the room. There are people that are suffering from paralysis analysis when it comes to their marketing, when it comes to what do I do on social media when it comes to, do I do the video? How do I do the video? Do I not do the video? People are like, they're like struck in a way of, I know I'm supposed to do this, but I'm not doing this. So Danielle, let's kick it off. When you are talking to people, regardless of the industry, of course, you and I are in the real estate industry. I always say real estate moves the economy because I believe it does, but it doesn't really matter what industry you're in because the things that work are universal. What are you seeing happening in your rooms? What do you see happening amongst the people that you're getting surrounded by when it comes to this analysis paralysis of marketing?
I think a lot of people have analysis paralysis with everything, not just marketing. And I'm a big believer in consistency over perfection, because what happens a lot of times is we want everything to be perfect and then we don't, post, or we're not consistent with our message. And so AI has made it extremely easy to be very consistent, right? And when I'm talking about consistent, I'm talking about whether it's, sending out LinkedIn newsletters, doing your social media marketing, doing email marketing campaigns, whatever it is. AI has made it extremely easy to be consistent. And so that's actually one of the things that I teach. But consistency over perfection is going to win every single time. And that's going to be in anything you do, not just, I can remember back in the day, the Mike Ferry days, when I was prospecting, picking up the phone and cold calling. And I didn't want to make those calls because I wasn't perfect at my scripts, or didn't know my objections, or didn't want to go on the listing presentations because it wasn't perfect.
Right.
But the more you do it, the better you get. So consistency over perfection is going to win every single time.
I love it. Yes. Consistency over perfection. I always say done is better than perfect.
Exactly.
Done is better than perfect. That's my saying. Bryce, what are you seeing happening? And I know that you are coming in from a different spectrum because you do marketing videos for third parties, but you also know a lot about AI. But let's talk about the people. Let's talk about, what do you hear them saying? What do you feel them going through?
First, let me just say, Danielle, quit yelling at me. I'm a perfectionist, so the truth is you're spot on. Consistency is far better, and it's a task that I work on every day. And you're absolutely correct, especially in content creation. The truth is, brands are buying ugly ads. There's a label for it. It's called ugly ads.
Wow.
And ugly ads work better than $10,000, $15,000, $100,000 advertisements, because people want real. So yes, consistency is better. So to answer your question, Lucy, what I'm seeing is Microsoft just came out with a statistic. At the end of 2025, over 55% of people had utilized AI in some capacity. And I have to be careful with this. I have to tell everybody, we've all used AI for many, many years. If you've used autocorrect on your phone, you've been using AI.
Okay.
Most people don't even realize that. But what we think about as AI today is, most people know ChatGPT. There's Perplexity, there's many others. That's when we talk about AI today, that's usually what we're talking about. Generative AI is what we call it. So Microsoft said 55% of people have used it. What they're saying in the marketplace is that we have entered into the early majority, and we're actually going all the way over beyond that. I disagree. I don't believe that. And here's why. Because most people are only they're utilizing AI like Google. They're not actually learning it. They're not actually learning how to use it. They're just touching base with it, and they're just typing things in.
Okay.
And they're using it once and then leaving.
Yeah, what I'm seeing also is a lot of the biggest thing with AI, and kind of in what he's talking about is really being able to get in there and prompting it, right? Like that's going to be the difference between what the outcome is for you and the outcome is for somebody else.
And I think it has to do with so many years of being programmed to searching.
Exactly.
So I
Yes.
think so for everyone that's watching, and let's break this down a little bit more because I know you guys are way ahead of me, and I've been using. We all started with the same platform, I think, right? ChatGPT. I started using it at the beginning of 2024. But I think that one of the best things that I learned early on is it's not a search engine. It is a thought partner. It
Right.
is a guide. It is a facilitator. It could be an assistant. So what I'm saying is you've got to tell it what to do and not just have it thinking for you or searching for you. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
How you would explain it?
Correct. Yes.
One of the things that I teach a lot, and I think this is important, is I have a 3A framework, and it's audit, automation, and AI. And this is where I think a lot of people fail, because we can talk about AI for marketing, we can talk about AI for content creation, LinkedIn newsletters, all these different things. But the first step is really taking a look at your business and doing a complete audit. Go over the past 90 days. Where have all of your deals came from? Like, what leads are falling through the cracks? Where are you, what types of marketing are you putting out there that you're starting to get deals from that, right? Do a complete audit of your entire business. And then once you have that audit, then you can figure out, okay, based on this, now how can I automate some of these tasks, and where can I plug in AI to help me with that, right? So a lot of people will just start using AI and not really know exactly what they want it to do for them. Where if you audit your business first, you can identify exactly what's moving the needle in your business, because everybody's different.
So it's audit, automation,
And AI.
and AI. Okay, that's really cool. Bryce, so when you have the opportunity, and I know you came in and you shared a very powerful class at the academy, and you said 55% of people have used it at some point. So that still leaves, almost half of the population that has not used it. And I would even say half is resistant, right? Because a lot of people
Absolutely.
resist change.
Yes.
What is the bite-sized nugget to even get started? Where do you even get started? Where do you even go? What's the first thing you need to know to grow with AI?
Well, I think the first thing is whether or not you're willing to accept that AI is here.
Okay.
Most people that are reluctant still are reluctant because they think that there's something wrong with AI. And I always, anytime I begin talking about this particular subject, I always go back to, I'm 53 years old.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in high school, my high school math teacher said the scientific calculator had no place in the classroom.
Mm-hmm.
I remember we first got electronic typewriters.
Okay.
There were no computers, there were no word processors. All of these things were innovations that people don't even realize those existed. Today we have laptops, we have computers in the palm of our hands. So you can't look at AI and go, this is going away. It's not going to be a part of my life. It is ingrained in everything we do. If you watch Netflix, AI is a part of your life.
Okay. I think that's okay. So let me use me as an example, right? When I first started using AI, and then I'm going to go to Danielle because Danielle says something. And the moment she says it, I know you shared it with me last week when we met at the academy. I literally felt a brain fog. I felt my brain like twist up, right? So, Bryce, you said that you got to know that it exists. You have to know that it's already part of things that we do, right? But for me, when I first started using it, is what do I even tell it to do? So I know there is a way that we need to start learning how to talk to AI for it to really be effective, because it's not Google search. So where do you tell people, hey, look, go learn what to tell it, go learn how to talk to it? Because at the end of the day, what we're looking for is for it to be a facilitator for us to make our life faster. Like I even named my AI, it's called Cheetah, because I love how fast it is, right? And I love Fast and Furious. So where would you, Bryce, where would you tell people, here's where you need to go to learn how to talk to it or tell it what to do or have it become your business strategist or your thought partner or your pilot or whatever it is, all these things that we could do with it?
I would say the first thing you need to do is make sure that you go back to it.
Okay.
Because that statistic that I read to you from Microsoft, 55%, in that same article, it talks about the fact that most of those people were one and done. They used it and then they walked away because it gave them bad results. And the more you use it, the more it understands you. You need to talk to it. You need to go back and forth with it. The more it's an iterative process. The more you go back and forth with it, the more it understands what it is that you're trying to do and the more it understands your language. The other thing is, if you have access to any kind of mentor, any kind of mastermind, I run a mastermind every Thursday. We talk about these exact things. How do you prompt? How do you converse with AI in order to maximize the results of the prompts?
Mm-hmm.
There's no magic bullet. There were people selling in the beginning magic prompts to get what you wanted. Those don't exist.
Okay.
It's about having a conversation.
Okay.
The AI just needs to go back and forth with you in order to get where you need to go.
Even if you fight with it.
Man, it is a yes man. It's going to give you information that it thinks you want to hear. So you have to be careful and you have to know that you're going to have to work with it to get where it needs to go.
Wow. Danielle, let's talk about automation, because you told me last week, you said, oh my God, this morning I sat there and I'm like, if I just had like a mental blank moment, because this just went right over the top. I can't imagine people that are not even using it, because you said just this morning my AI responded to I don't know how many emails and responded to I don't know how many texts and did I don't know how many things, and I'm like, how does that even work? So talk to us about automation, because I think that, listen, I'll be the first one to say I'm in pre-K AI and I use it a lot. Literally, I use it every day. I fight with it, I challenge it. I tell it, be this, be that, I go back and forth with it. But automation, like, what do you mean it responds to your email? Like, paint us a picture, because I can't even see it.
So I have Done by One. I call it, it's a CRM, but I call it an AI powered operating system because that's really what it is. I mean, you can use it basically just like a CRM, where you store your database and you send out these emails and maybe you auto post your social media marketing, but we can always also create these AI agents within the CRM. So the AI agents are answering my text messages, answering my DMs on Facebook and Instagram. They will, it's funny because I was in Barcelona last year at an EXP conference, and I'm watching on my cell phone, my AI agent having a conversation with a client. And when I got out of that meeting, I had a loan application already done because my AI agent told them to go online and do the loan application. And what's funny is a lot of times, especially in sales, we stop ourselves like, oh, should I tell them to do the application or should I have the conversation first, or blah blah blah. We play with our minds where our AI agents don't do that. They're very to the point. Hey, if you want to do the loan application and get the ball rolling, you can go online, da 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 da. So we've created a lot of different automations, but it comes from that audit. So as you recall in the beginning, back in 2022, I was in a hotel room in Italy and I was exhausted. I was going from cafe to cafe, from hotel room to hotel. Like, my family's having fun and I'm in Italy working my butt off because I had to. So I said, there has to be a better system. There has to be a way that I can have a system move the needle in my business, do everything that I need to do in my business and be done by one. So I can go out and have fun with my family and enjoy. So that's when I really said, okay, Danielle, where are you not following up with people? For example, if I send a pre-approval letter,
Mhm.
am I following up every single week with that client? And if the answer is no, then how can I automate it? How can I make the CRM follow up with it is if it's me. And so I had to audit my business and really figure out where, where I'm letting leads fall through the cracks, where I'm not following up with people consistently, and then plugging that in with the automation and AI. And I think that's where a lot of people, they'll come to me and say, Danielle, I just want to set my system up how you have it. And I'm like, well, the way I run my business and the way you like to run your business might be two totally different things, right?
Mhm.
So really auditing first to figure out where you need to plug in the automation and AI. And it's just plugging in the automation for things that I'm not doing, right? I'm not consistent with, I'm not the best at doing. So my system will go ahead and do that. Real quick, back to when you were asking about, AI and learning. There's a couple of different things that you can do. I have learned everything from YouTube. So anything that you want to know, you can go on YouTube. And that is where I learned how to build out the system, build out my AI agents, all of that stuff. And then as Bryce mentioned, I'm good with building it out because I want to learn it. I love it. I want to do it. It's part of my business. But some people might want those shortcuts. So joining a mastermind like Bryce has, or I have courses online, how to master Chat GPT, how to create your custom GPTs and things like that. So learning from somebody else that already spent the million hours on YouTube figuring this stuff out.
What do you say, Bryce? I know you're agreeing with a lot of it. What's your perspective on this powerful stuff that Danielle is sharing? Which, guys, this is powerful stuff. Like, if we don't get with the program, I mean, there's a wave of opportunity that we are right in front of. I mean, I really believe there is a wave of opportunity that we are right in the midst of. Like, we are right there. And if we don't get with the program, we are going to get crushed by the wave. And some of us are going to ride the wave. And that's why we're having this conversation, right? Because we know better. We know better when you get stuck and you just wait. There's nothing to wait for. Like, you need to get with the program. So Bryce, what are you agreeing so intently with?
Yeah. So one of the things that I wanted to point out, when you first put out the call for people who were interested in AI, Lucy, you asked a generalized question, and I pointed out that AI is very broad.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I don't know if everybody caught it, but I think what you're noticing here is that Danielle and I are on different spectrums within AI. Danielle is very strong with agents and the systems side of AI. I'm more so the casual user who is capable of interacting with AI on a personal level as an individual who is utilizing AI in their personal business, maybe an agent who is not quite ready to implement agents in their business to run their business, but just needs somebody to converse with, that kind of thing. There's even more beyond that. Do you use it for creating flyers? Do you use it for, and we can both help with overlapping areas of that. But the thing that I want to point out with this is that it takes someone like Danielle or any one of the rest of us who pays attention to this to kind of filter down the information. Yes, Danielle, we can all go on YouTube and look up the information. That's how Danielle and I get our information. We're paying attention to everybody else who's paying attention, and we're gathering the information. But if you don't want to study for hours and hours and hours, then the best thing you can do is latch on to somebody who is paying attention and let them filter the information and help guide you to where you need to go.
I just had a visual as you were saying that, because I do see how you and Danielle are parallel, right? Which I think is amazing. She comes from being in the trenches. She comes from being a Mike Ferryite. She comes from probably going to several productivity, boot camps, or what was it that productivity schools is what Mike Ferry used to call it, where literally there was, 500 agents in the room chanting the same scripts and using
prospecting in Vegas, prospecting school. Yes.
Prospecting school, and using the hands and the whole thing, which, oh my God, that's why we had such incredible producers. That's why I became a producer, because I literally had to learn, what this human was teaching with the scripts and the objection handlers and the listing presentation. Well, one of two things will happen. Either you list with me or you don't. Either one is fine. And so now here we are, where we are living in a world of, it's a different generation of business people. We want the results. It's the work we don't want, right? And then Bryce comes in with a very casual, everyday use of AI. So I am the one that does not have the bandwidth, right? Because I don't want to say I don't have the time, because I believe we all have 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If it was a priority for me, I would make the time to go to YouTube, to sit there, to do this whole thing. But the moment that you talk to me about, AI agents, I'm like, I don't even know what that looks like. What does it look like? Where is it at? Like, how do I even get there? It's like an outer space, surreal experience. And so, Bryce, when you were talking about, if you're not willing, or you're not able to, or don't have the bandwidth, like in my case, to go watch all the 5,000 hours of YouTube, get with people that are using it and are leveraging it and going somewhere. And I literally had a visual of me hanging on to each of your coattails, just rising up with you, because I'm on a mission to move the people. I'm on a mission to create the audiences. I'm on a mission to bring what no one else is bringing to the marketplace. But I need to do what you guys are doing. I can't do all things at the same time. And this is where I believe we can leverage our superpowers and create a greater impact. So
absolutely.
What do you think about
I had one more point on that. This is the one thing about AI that is different than any other technology that's been brought forth before. It's moving faster than anything else we've ever had.
Yes.
It came in faster than the internet.
Yes.
It has taken over faster than the internet. And what I saw with so ChatGPT was the one that we all benchmarked. It's the one we watched the most. Every new release of ChatGPT, we saw people complaining, oh, it broke. Oh, something went wrong. Oh, something went down. Oh, they broke it. Well, the reason they did that is they were trying to be first to market, and they were using us as beta testers. For anybody who knows anything about technology, there was this thing called beta testers. Once upon a time, beta testers were asked to participate in the background. Nobody knew who they were, and they were done in the background. Now we're all beta testers with AI. That's never been done before.
Right.
So again, having people like Danielle in your corner, that's important, because if you need to focus on your business as an agent or any other business, you need somebody like Danielle to translate what's going on with AI if you want to utilize it. If not, then you're probably going to get left behind. Sorry, but the truth hurts. AI, if you don't use AI in your business, you're going to get left behind.
Yeah, Bryce, you're spot on. And I think the gap between people using AI and people not using AI is getting wider and wider. And I just want to point out two things real quick. We talked in the beginning about consistency over perfection. And I remember there was a day I was doing a social media post on a home equity line of credit, and I have it do the image because I cannot figure out Canva. I cannot stand Canva. I use ChatGPT
I'll
for
help
all
you
of
out.
my images. and the image had a person with 3 hands, but I didn't have time. So I literally posted the picture of the guy with 3 hands, but I made a comment and a joke. I made a comment and a joke in my post, and I said, "Can anyone figure out what's wrong with this picture?" So people were like, "Oh my!" It was a home equity line of credit post. My guy had 3 hands, and then all these people were. So that's what I mean about like consistency over perfection. Like, make a
Yes.
joke about it. It doesn't have to be perfect. And this
Right.
morning, I'm teaching a class today, actually, right after this, for a real estate office on how to utilize ChatGPT, how to create lead magnets, ebooks, use HeyGen, which is video, and then also to use Gamma. So it's a full AI class that I'm about to do. But I said to ChatGPT, in this, I want people to, if you're wondering, how can I use ChatGPT? Go to ChatGPT and say, "I am a real estate agent in Southwest Florida," or wherever. I specialize. If you do specialize, great. If not, whatever. How can I use you, ChatGPT, to help me in my business? List all of the different ways that you can help me. And it will say social media content, like it will give you expired listings. It can pull the list for you. It can give you your email and text messages, going after FISBOs. So ask ChatGPT how to use it, and it will tell you exactly how it can use it in your niche. And not only that, it will give you the prompt to use. So
Mm,
for everybody wondering how to use it, all you have to do is ask it how
ask
to
it.
use it.
Yeah. Okay, so for everyone that's watching, go share this, your audience, your follower. Listen, if you are not a rock star on AI, at least show that you're hanging around with rock stars. I always say there's power in proximity and there's wealth by association. So what do I mean? We all know we can't do everything, right? But when we share what other people are doing and our audience sees, look at this. Lucy's hanging around with AI rock stars. It elevates me. It co-elevates me because it shows my audience, you know what? She's on her game. So you can do the same thing, because if you're not crushing it with AI, or you're not the one putting on the podcast, or you're not the one bringing in the experts and the authorities in AI, like we have Bryce and Danielle here this morning, go share this live and let your audience see, wow, look at this. So-and-so is hanging around with some movers and shakers. So-and-so is moving around with some, market leaders. So I always say, share, share, share. And here's another thing. There's a philosophy behind this, and there's a principle behind this. The more you give, the more you get. So be a giver, because your people in your audience need to learn this as well. So become the voice of good news. So Bryce and Danielle, we're talking about AI. I think there's so much talk about AI going on that, I mean, it's like, how do we even know which one is good? You just said at the beginning, we were the guinea pigs. People were coming out of the woodworks, buy my program, buy the prompts, buy this, and people are just dishing out money. But we all know it's not buying the stuff, it's implementing the stuff. So let's talk about implementation, because you guys know I'm passionate about my MMA Monday Masterclass, which is all about implementation and execution. And so I want you guys to give us your top 3 tips. I want to respect time. So your top 3 tips for whoever your ideal audience is. So I know, Danielle, your ideal audience is real estate agents. You have the heartbeat of real estate agents because you've been there, you've done that. Bryce, you are just a marketing machine for corporations and different organizations. So what are the top 3 tips that each of these lanes must keep in mind when it comes to marketing with AI?
You want me to start?
Oh, sure.
Go ahead, Danielle.
Danielle,
No, you go first.
I know you got to make a hard stop in just a few minutes, so you go first.
Okay. So, and not just marketing, here are my tips. First of all, as I mentioned a million times, consistency over perfection. Just do it. People are not going to be, like look at every little detail like you do. So just do it. The second thing is creating a schedule. You have to have a schedule. Most people don't have a schedule. They're very reactive in their day. They're just winging it. I have a done by one system that if you follow the 5 pillars, which is start your day with your morning mindset, follow that by lead generation and lead follow up, and not just use AI. That's a human touch, picking up the phone, calling people, talking to people, then working on your sales and marketing, branding, social media, then working in your business because your lead gen needs to come first. Follow it up by lifestyle and be done by one.
Awesome. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. And if you guys have questions, now or later, I want Danielle, I don't know if you can do this or we'll add it on. I want to add your handle, your social media handle. But guys, you're going to get to meet Danielle up close and personal at our MMA Monday Masterclass, because we are bringing, listen, the same way that AI has hit the marketplace, the world by storm. These two amazing humans are joining forces with us, and we are going to hit the marketplace by storm because there's so much opportunity to help people and serve people and build a bigger audience and do things bigger together. So,
and I don't know if Bryce's class was like AI 101, but that could be a great first class if you want me to do that with, for your business. MMA Mastermind is huge. That's where everyone, it doesn't matter what business profession you're in, we all have the same problem. We
yes.
all have the same, issues. We're all doing the same things, regardless if you're a doctor, a plumber, a realtor, insurance agent. So come to those, right? And start your week off right.
Yes. Thank you, Danielle. So Bryce, what are your top 3 tips that you want to share with someone today?
I mean, to narrow it down to 3, Danielle's so well laid out. She has all 3 of them ready to go. I think for me, I think number 1, specifically related to AI, I think number 1 is to actually get in there and play.
Mm-hmm.
It's the best word I could find. Play. Usually, most people start with ChatGPT. If you're going to use ChatGPT, play with the voice. Turn on the voice recorder and talk to it. Because what's going to happen is ChatGPT is going to learn the way you speak. And if it learns the way you speak, then when it writes for you, so if it's writing social media posts, etc., it will write more like you. So it won't sound like ChatGPT quite as much. There are a lot of ways that you can give it prompts that will help it keep from sounding like ChatGPT, but you can get into that later. But the best thing you can do is let it hear your voice. So talk to it. The second thing I would say is, as I said earlier in this conversation, iteration, meaning never accept the first response. And I mean never. No matter what ChatGPT tells you, always say, is that whatever it is, feed it back to ChatGPT, even start a new conversation or whatever AI you're using, feed it back into it and say, is this the best way to look at this, whatever it is? Or is there a better way to say this? Whatever the case may be, always say, is there another way we can do this? And then lastly, I would say, same thing as Danielle, consistency. Just do it.
Yes.
Over and over and over and over again. The more you do it, that statistic I said earlier, everybody keeps leaving. They only do it once and they're done. That's the reason you're not doing well. You got to keep going. Just dedicate, we're all about time blocking. The best people in business time block. They keep a calendar, they stick to it. Set aside, even if it's 15 minutes a day, dedicate that time to learning AI, whether it's watching a YouTube like Danielle suggested, whether it's getting in front of a mentor, or it's just playing with ChatGPT. Spend at least 15 minutes a day, maybe an hour, and get to learn it.
I love it. So yes, my friends, you've heard it from 2 spectrums of the marketplace. Danielle, who is in the real estate arena, Bryce, who is in the general marketing video arena. Any closing remarks? I want to respect your time. I know this is not going to be the last time. And for everyone watching, again, share this and invite people to MMA Monday Masterclass, because that is the only execution and implementation hub in all of Southwest Florida. And we're already talking about expanding it. We're talking about taking it to other locations, because just like we're telling you that this is the moment for you to jump on AI, listen, we are doing the same. This is our moment to jump in front of the marketplace, in front of the industry, and say, hey, you know what? Let us be your lighthouse. Let us be your guides. Let us be your facilitators. We're here to serve you, grow with you, and go with you. So any closing remarks, Danielle, and then Bryce?
I just want to say I'm excited to be working alongside of both of you. You're both amazing. And I mean, the biggest thing I hope people can take away is, just do it. Don't worry about it. Consistency over perfection is going to win every single time.
Thank you, Danielle. Thank you for your time. Bryce?
I just want to tell Danielle, I really wish you'd stop yelling at me about the perfection, but no, actually, yes, I wholeheartely agree. I can't wait to jump in there. And, I had my first taste of teaching MMA. It was awesome. And I love watching Coach Lucy speak. She's just amazing. And, like she keeps saying, getting around winners, it just raises you up. So I love being around you guys.
Likewise, I cannot say it any better. Thank you so much for your time, your precious time, for your valuable information. And we are in it to win it, my friends. So we will see you on the next episode of Agents in the Trenches. Bye, guys.
Bye.